Frustration or getting stuck in the middle of your draft simply means that you're on the verge of a breakthrough. Writer Unleashed is for you, a writer who has a story you want to bring onto the page and into the hearts and minds of readers. I'm Nancy Panuccio, writer, editor, and book coach. Each week, we'll explore techniques, mindsets, and inspiration for writing stories readers can't put down. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Now, let's begin. Writing can feel exhilarating one day and defeating the next. We all have those moments when self-doubt creeps in, motivation slips, or the words just won't come. Here's the truth. Writing requires more than talent. If you have the urge to write this novel or this memoir or story, you are most likely talented. But talent is not enough. There are plenty of talented writers who give up because they lack the mental fortitude to keep going. Writing a book and seeing it through all its various drafts and iterations is a test of your mental fitness. Mental fitness is what keeps you steady when the creative waters get rough. It's like the propellers of a ship. Your mind's strength and resilience push you forward even against currents of distraction, rejection, and fear. So, in today's episode, we'll talk about what mental fitness really means for writers, why it's essential for you, and how you can start strengthening yours starting now. First, what do I mean by mental fitness? Mental fitness is your mind's ability to stay clear, calm, and resilient under pressure. For writers, it's about navigating the ups and downs of the creative process, trusting your instincts and believing in your vision of the story, and not getting swayed by everybody's feedback, especially feedback by committee, like in a writer's group or workshop where there might be 20 writers chiming in on how to make your story better. It's recovering quickly from criticism, rejection, and tough writing days. It's not about never feeling self-doubt. It's about not letting doubt steer the ship. Without mental fitness, it's easy to get stuck. Procrastination takes over. This is where we start doom scrolling Facebook for the latest tariff announcement. That's my go-to procrastinating activity. Comparison sidelines you. You start comparing your current draft to a book you admire, but you have no idea how much time, frustration, and self-doubt, the countless rewrites for years, and all the training and practice that went into that finished book. You only see the finished product, and self-doubt chips away at your confidence. Strong mental fitness helps you stay focused and productive. It helps you bounce back faster after setbacks and maintain creative momentum even when motivation and confidence dips. It also helps you approach your work with curiosity instead of fear and self-doubt. So here are 4 core components of mental fitness. Number 1, emotional resilience. You want to learn to ride the emotional roller coaster of writing without derailing. Allow yourself to feel frustration or disappointment without giving up. Frustration or getting stuck in the middle of your draft simply means that you're on the verge of a breakthrough. I can't tell you how many times in a month, sometimes in a week, where I'm literally so frustrated with some project I'm working on, usually something that has to do with technology that I'm screaming at my computer, literally. When this happens, I step away for a day until my head is rested and clear, and I move on to something else. In every case, I figure it out. The way my brain is wired is I have to solve something that frustrates me. It may mean that I ask for help, or I do a Google search for tutorials. So whenever you hit a wall in your writing and you find yourself frustrated and overwhelmed or stuck, this is an invitation for you to find the answers, either with a trusted writer friend or book coach. Maybe you turn to a craft book or a course or a writing workshop, and you refine your craft. Writing is a craft. It takes time to develop. You don't write a book and expect it to be an instant bestseller. That's just not how it works. It's an art. It's a skill that takes time to develop. So be patient and find support. Okay, on to number 2, self-trust. You want to develop faith in your ideas and your instincts. Understand that your first draft doesn't define your ability. The fact that it's hard or you're struggling through it is not proof that you're not cut out to do this work. I always come back to something Nelson Mandela said. I never lose. I'm either winning or learning. I never lose. I'm either winning or learning. I also don't want you getting swayed by feedback. Some feedback will be useful, and you'll know when it is if you're tuned into your own impulses and your own vision of your story. But not all feedback is going to be relevant or useful. So be selective. Don't ever try to please everyone. If you try to please everyone, you please no one. So stick to your vision. Use the feedback that resonates for you instinctively. Consider other feedback, but for the love of all things holy, don't try to incorporate every piece of feedback. Feedback helps you tap into your own instincts and should open you up to your work's possibilities. Those possibilities may be dormant for you in the moment, but will awaken with the feedback that resonates with you. Feedback that's in alignment with your vision. Sometimes what you think is on the page isn't, and the feedback you get will show you that gap. So use feedback to bring your story in alignment with your vision. Okay, on to number 3, flexibility. You want to stay open to new solutions and directions. Approach your works in progress with curiosity and openness. Sometimes writers will be wedded to a certain genre expectation, and they won't be open to any feedback or any other possible directions their story could take. There's a rigid adherence to what they think their story should be based on what they think the genre demands. For example, they'll insist on an epilogue that's anticlimactic, or they'll insist on backstory that bogs the story down. They're not open to their work's possibilities, just wedded to what they think the audience wants. They're not writing to please themselves or to explore their own questions about the story's theme. They're totally focused on what they think a reader wants and expects. And that's a recipe for a flat, predictable story that has no surprises and ultimately bores the readers they're trying to attract. So stay open to other ways to approach your story. Try different things. The great thing about writing is that it's not carved in stone. It's not glass. It can't break. It's malleable. So play and experiment. Okay, on to number 4. Focus and discipline. You want to create routines and rituals that keep you grounded and productive. That means you're consistent. You do not have to write every single day, but you do want to create some routine that keeps you in the game for the long term. Writing should feel as routine as making the coffee in the morning. It should feel painful not to do it. You want to protect your writing time and energy. So often we relinquish control. I do it too, but I always come back to protecting my time and especially my energy. I say no a lot so I can say yes to what's a priority for me, so I can make room for what matters. Okay, so we have number 1, emotional resilience. Number 2, self-trust. Number 3, flexibility. And number 4, focus and discipline. Okay, let's talk about how to build mental fitness on a daily basis. Because here's the good news. Mental fitness isn't fixed. It's a practice. It's always evolving, and you can build it one day, one habit at a time. The Japanese author Haruki Murakami compares writing to long-distance running in his memoir, What I Talk About When I Talk About Running. Writing a book isn't just a creative act. It's a mental marathon, and you can train for it. Here are a few ways to start. Number 1, impeccable self-care. A nourished body supports a creative mind. That might mean a walk outside, a nap, or a break from looking at your screen. Mental fitness comes from physical fitness. I don't mean you work out in the gym or lift weights, but keeping your body healthy, what you eat, getting daily movement in, walking outside is a great revitalizer, and prioritizing sleep. Some things I do for myself is I take vitamins that help me regulate my cortisol levels. I'm at an age where cortisol depletes my mental fitness. So to regulate my mind, I take reishi mushrooms, fish oils, ashwagandha, vitamin D, rhodiola to manage stress. I take magnesium at night to help me turn off my brain and sleep. I have these all on subscription. It's about $57 a month, very affordable, about 11 vitamins in all, customized to my body and my needs. I get them through Vita RX. It's so affordable and so worth it. You take a quiz, and they make recommendations based on what your body and your mind needs. VitaRx.co. I'll link in the show notes. Number 2, you want to reset your mind. We tend to beat ourselves up with negative self-talk. I'm so stupid. I don't understand. I'm not talented. What made me think I could write this? When the inner critic pipes up, respond with awareness and self-compassion. Don't believe your thoughts. The mind has a way of keeping us safe. The amygdala is our primary threat detector, even when the threat is merely perceived. So get curious. Ask, what's the fear here? What's the truth? You want to catch it when you think it and then reframe it. For example, a thought in response to a challenge in the writing process might be some version of, I suck. You want to catch it and then reframe that thought. I'm just facing a challenge. It's totally natural. Every writer faces multiple challenges, but I'm going to figure this out. And finally, number 3, celebrate progress, not perfection. Even a half-finished book is progress. That messy scene you wrote today, that's progress. Don't minimize your accomplishments. The fact that you're even taking on writing a novel or memoir or short story is a big feat in itself. There's a book by Dan Sullivan called The Gap and the Gain. The book explores this concept. Instead of measuring yourself against an ideal future, the gap, which leads to disappointment and self-criticism, the book encourages measuring progress by how far you've come, the gain. This shift helps you build confidence, motivation, and resilience by focusing on growth and accomplishments rather than what's still missing. It's a practical framework for staying mentally strong and fulfilled, especially in creative work. Instead of looking for the gap where you are now and where you want to be, look for the gain, how far you've come. This is a great way to reframe any self-criticism or doubt you may be feeling at any point in the writing process. Remember, when you're stuck or frustrated, it just means you're on the brink of a breakthrough, your next breakthrough. Mental fitness isn't about eliminating doubt or difficulty. It's about strengthening your ability to move through it. When you develop these mental muscles, you become the kind of writer who keeps going, the writer who trusts your process and ultimately produces work you're proud of. So take care of your mind, strengthen those propellers. They're what will carry you forward on this unpredictable, incredible writing journey that you're on. So there you have it. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you know any writers who need some support in their writing, please share this episode or the Writer Unleashed podcast in general. And if you love what you're listening to, subscribe on your favorite listening platform. And if you're listening on Apple, please leave me a review. Reading how this podcast impacts your writing truly lights me up and helps me create topics for the show. Till next time, keep writing, and I'll talk to you soon.